The New York Knicks have signed Ryan Arcidiacono, and that is it. That is their 15th signing. They have their 15-man roster, and we're going to talk about this because unlike most 15th-man signings, this one does have some interesting implications and just some notes to it that are going to be very fun to go over. So we're going to jump right into it. Welcome back to Knicks Digest, guys. My name is Chris, and we are talking about how the New York Knicks have just signed Ryan Arcidiacono as of yesterday and used their 15th-man rotational spot that they had. They had that roster spot open, and they've elected to go with a familiar face. We recently talked about this 15th rotation spot, and something that was really important to see here is that we were talking about guys like Taj Gibson and like Ryan Arcidiacono. It's really guys who the Knicks know already. It's a familiar face, and now the Knicks just bring him back. Like, literally, Ryan Arcidiacono was already on the Knicks in 2023. So this is just a very quick turnaround. He spent that other half of the season in Portland after the Josh Hart trade. And something that's very important to note here is that Ian Begley said that really the Knicks didn't want to give Arcidiacono in that trade. What they wanted to do was get all those Nova guys together. However, they had to make salary cap reasons work, and Arcidiacono unfortunately got moved. But now he's back with the team. And along with this is Dante DiVincenzo. So Ryan Arcidiacono knows every single person on this Knicks rotation already because either he played with them last season or he's played with them in college. We now have the NovaKnicks going. We have 4 of the real 5. We're one more away, and he is one of the best players, and we all know I'm talking about Mikal Bridges. We all knew that's where this video would end up going at some point sooner or later, so we're not going to hesitate. We're not going to beat around the bush. We are going to jump into the Mikal Bridges stuff, but first, very quickly, let's just go over why this is a good signing and why some reasons maybe people might not love it in case there are those people out there that I'm yet to encounter. But the Knicks brought in a guy that's going to help with chemistry. Tom Thibodeau loves him. He's praised him constantly. Arcidiacono just pushes his players hard in practice. The guy is just good for chemistry. He knows this team. He knows the New York Knicks front office. He understands a lot of this, and he's already been within the culture, that this is not going to be new to him, and he knows exactly where he fits in. We all loved Theo Pinson, and Ryan Arcidiacono was a very similar vibe. It was a little less flashy and had some less cool dances, but it does come with the NovaKnicks, so we waited out all right. But someone else who's excited about the NovaKnicks here is none other than Josh Hart. We all know how Josh Hart is on Twitter. He's a big fan of, let's just say it how it is, essentially tampering for Mikal Bridges. And this is really the point in the video where we talk about the Mikal Bridges stuff, because obviously now every single one of Mikal Bridges' college teammates that play in the NBA today are on the New York Knicks. All 4 of them are on the Knicks now. It's honestly pretty funny, and it's really just something that's, I'm shocked that this is the case, especially with Mikal Bridges being on the Nets. Like, what are the chances that that would happen? However, this is where we are now. This is the situation at hand, and it really just begs the one question: are the Knicks going to target Mikal Bridges? We all know how Leon Rose operates. He does not make trades just to make trades. Usually, Leon Rose is only making moves if he thinks they will benefit the Knicks directly. He's not going to go out of the way just to do this to do it because it'll make fans happy. He's doing his own thing. He's been doing this. The Knicks don't really talk a whole lot in the media, but Josh Hart does, because as we see right here, he tweeted out, "Yo, Mikal Bridges, hit my phone. Want to run something by you real quick." My favorite part about this is that Mikal Bridges is so openly tampering on Twitter that it almost feels like a joke, and it sort of is a joke, but it's also him tampering because he's messing with his friend, and they're all on the Knicks, and he all knows. We all know that this is a group of friends that are going to hang out together. They're going to spend time. They live in the same city after hanging out in college. These are college friends reunited, and they're going to hang out regardless of what team in New York they're on. It would make no sense that Mikal Bridges is just going to want to be on the Nets while all of his friends are on the Knicks. I'm not trying to bash the Nets here, but when you're the less important, less newsworthy New York team, and you're like the best player on it, while all of your friends are on the team across town, that's going to get to you, and you'd just rather be on the Knicks. If I put myself in that position and think of if all of my friends played for the same NBA team, and I am lucky enough to even be in the same city as them, or even be on the same side of the country as them, and I'm on another team, that would infuriate me to some level. I would totally, way rather obviously be on the Knicks in this scenario if I were Mikal Bridges. So that's something very interesting to see how this all plays out. We know the Nets love Bridges. Once he got there, he played like a monster. Let's take a quick look at Mikal's stats because they were great this year. I mean, he put up 20 points a game, and obviously that was half a season spent on Phoenix where he had less of an opportunity. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, shot well from 3, shot well from the field, had a steal per game, almost 1 block. We all know with Mikal Bridges what it is the turnovers and just the defense that he can force on people. He is such a talented defender. He can shoot the ball well. He's clearly showing growth in shot creation, which he has been doing consistently, really, since he was like a rookie. Mikal Bridges has broken out on the Nets now that he's gotten the chance to. And his price is going to be high. We all know this. The Nets would probably charge a ridiculous amount because not only just is Mikal Bridges great, and he's not that old at all. He's like 26. The real thing behind this is that he was the main guy that they got in return for the Kevin Durant trade, and the Kevin Durant signing that the Nets made was obviously just a complete failure, and they're not going to want to just hand off Mikal Bridges because that's like the last bit they have from that 2019 home run day that they had. But here we stand, and if I'm Mikal Bridges, I could see myself requesting a trade to the Knicks. The only problem is if Bridges is to go out there and request a trade, I mean, there's like a better chance than not that the Nets are going to be like, all right, we're going to trade you, but we're not just going to wait to trade you with the Knicks. Also, have the Knicks and the Nets ever made a trade? The teams do not make deals with each other. They're aware that they're rivals in the same market. They're aware that their income affects each other. It's going to be really hard for the Knicks to make a Mikal Bridges trade if they can get it done. And if I'm being honest, I do not think the Knicks will be able to trade for Mikal Bridges. I don't know why I smiled as I said that, because I think Bridges actually fits so tremendously with the Knicks that depending on what they give up, they could be damn near an NBA Finals level team pretty much instantly if they were to trade for Bridges. So that's really the whole rundown on the Bridges part of things. And then when you're to think about Ryan Arcidiacono and really what he's going to bring to the team, it's really stuff that is not going to be seen on the court or on the stat sheet, but it's going to help the Knicks. It's going to help the vibe stay immaculate. And it's really something that I'm looking forward to seeing how really it's going to pan out with all these guards. Because the one thing is, the Knicks don't have power forwards. They have Julius Randle. They used to be a team full of power forwards that got made fun of like all the time for that. Like the whole Bobby Portis, Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, Taj Gibson signing day. It was just the New York power forwards. Now they have Julius Randle and they have Josh Hart, who according to Steve Kerr plays the winner position. So that's helpful that Hart is going to be able to be a backup power forward to some degree. I've talked about this 100 times already. Power forwards nowadays mainly are like 6'8", stretch fours. We all know this. So it's sort of just like a thing that hard to handle. It's just outside of like Evan Mobley matchups and some matchups against like the Lakers. But those, or at least the Lakers one, that's not going to be that prevalent, or like the Minnesota Timberwolves. The only way that would really matter come playoffs is if one of those teams were to make the finals. I don't really see either of those teams making the finals, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. But if they were to rematch Cleveland in the playoffs, that's when things could get a little dicey with the Knicks not exactly having the largest roster there can be. So that kind of shakes me up. We also never know. Basically, every season that Leon Rose has been the president, he's made a trade during the season, usually around the winter, not exactly at the deadline, usually a little bit before the deadline. Who knows why? Leon Rose operates a little differently from most people, but he's also been one of the most successful presidents that the Knicks have had in a very, very long time. That's really, it's hard to argue that at all, honestly. And I think that this Ryan Arcidiacono signing was a great one. I would have preferred Taj Gibson, but Ryan Arcidiacono does give the Knicks what I think should be given out of a 15th man. Just a guy who's going to push everyone hard at practice, be good for the vibes, help everyone succeed, and just really, really be an extension of the coaching staff. That seems to be the best sort of 15th man. It seems like that's what most teams that are really high-level front offices do. Maybe I'm just thinking of the Miami Heat. But I really like when that's the case. I think that's very helpful for players, especially young guys in the league and guys who don't get a ton of minutes, just to sort of learn from other players. And that's really all that we have time for today, guys. So make sure to like this video. Comment down below if you think this Ryan Arcidiacono signing was good. And definitely comment down below if you think that Mikal Bridges may end up on the New York Knicks. And the Knicks will complete their 5 Infinity Stones of the NovaKnicks and get it all in the family for Leon Rose and co. I obviously hope it happens. I think that would just be awesome outside of the fact that it would probably make the Knicks a much better team in the process. I think that would be a win-win trade. However, we don't know what the future holds. We've been talking about trades constantly, and that conversation is not going away because the NBA season is right around the corner, and the videos are just going to keep coming, guys. We're going to keep talking about trades. We don't know who the next star to hit the open market is, and the Knicks are ready. They have assets stockpiled. They have draft picks. They have tradable contracts. The Knicks are in a great position to acquire a star right now, so I'm really looking forward to see who the next guy to ask out is. Whether it's a Mikal Bridges, a Donovan Mitchell, Joel Embiid, Giannis, it might be one of those 4 guys, at least if you're thinking with that orange and blue tint on of who you would want and all that and who fits. So that's really what we have time for today, guys. So as I said earlier, make sure to like this video, subscribe, because the content is going to keep coming. We are on that grind. The NBA season is right around the corner, and really screw it. I mean, how close is training camp, guys? Even that's something. We get training camp going. We get some preseason basketball. We'll have so much to talk about. We're going to be doing basically a review of every game, all 82 games, all playoff games. We are going to be reviewing on this channel. Not to mention the countless other rumors we're going to break down, Knicks news we're going to talk about. The topics are endless, and we are only going up from here. So you guys want to be tuned in for that. But for now, have a great day, guys, and remember, go Knicks.